All right, soldiers, Sam Bankman-Fried went into a federal courthouse today and he pled not guilty. We're going to go over that, but there is something else that occurred in that courthouse today that is really, really interesting. And many of you in the comments have alluded to the fact that you don't think Sam Bankman-Fried is going to spend any time in prison, because he has friends in very powerful places. Well, guess what? You may be right. It sounds like he has got some associations with not only some powerful people, but some very, very rich people. Who are they? We'll get to that in a minute. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty to fraud and other criminal charges Tuesday, as a judge set his trial date to begin October 2nd, 2023. So they've got roughly 10 months here to get ready for this, 9 months rather, 9 full months to get ready for this trial. Mr. Bankman-Fried, 30 years old, entered his not guilty plea to all 8 criminal counts he faces before U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan in federal court in Manhattan. Now, look, some might say, and I was of the mind that it was possible that he would, maybe he'll plead guilty later on down the road before the trial actually begins in October. But I think the chances of that happening are now slim to none based on another development that we're going to go over here shortly. The former chief executive, who is being detained at his parents' California home, but returned to New York for the hearing, sat at the defense table between his attorneys who entered the plea on his behalf. Assistant U.S. So somebody has gotten to him. He's not talking. He's finally shut his mouth. But those interviews that he did, that stuff's still out there. That's in the public domain, and you can bet it's also in the possession of the prosecutor. Assistant U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon told the judge the October trial would last about 4 weeks, while Mark Cohen, a lawyer for Mr. Bankman-Fried, estimated it would last from 2 to 3 weeks. Judge Kaplan set the next court hearing for May 18th. 2 of Fried's associates, Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang, pleaded guilty to related charges last month and are cooperating with prosecutors with regard to the investigation. Can you imagine how Ellison and Wang would feel if Sam Bankman-Fried walked and was proven not guilty in a court of law at the end of the day? Can you imagine? They would just feel like 2 cents, because they'd be headed off to a federal prison while old Sam Bankman-Fried would be free to set up his next crypto token. Maybe he'd call it free as a bird token, or you almost had me token, something like that. Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, said Tuesday that his office had formed an FTX task force, drawing on prosecutors from multiple units, including those focused on securities fraud, public corruption, and money laundering. Mr. Williams said his office, quote, is working around the clock to respond to the implosion of FTX, unquote. And when he says they're working around the clock, he literally means around the clock. They're taking shifts working on this, and will be doing that for the next 9 months. Because the flip side of this is this guy, Damian Williams, he's got his ticket punched if Sam Bankman-Fried is convicted. However, the inverse is also true. If he's not convicted, then old Damian Williams, you might see ads for him somewhere down the road, saying, hey, if you drink that Camp Lejeune water, call Damian Williams. We'll see to it that you get a financial settlement. Or, hey, this is Damian Williams. Have you been injured in an auto accident? Call the law offices of Damian Williams, and we will seek justice. So he's got a lot riding on this. All right. So he's opened up a task force, which in government parlance means we're going to direct even more money and resources at this particular problem. So he's taking out the big guns. Now, here's the interesting part. During his first appearance in federal court last month, Sam Bankman-Fried was released on $250 million bond, which was secure. And somebody said in an earlier video, you should do your research. You don't know the difference between bail and bond. No, I don't. And I'm proud of that fact, okay? I am not in the weeds with the various processes where you can get out of jail. No, I've never had that experience. Thank you very much. But here in the Wall Street Journal, it is clearly saying that he was released on a $250 million bond. So if that is not correct, then take it up with the Wall Street Journal. Two additional people signed other bonds contributing to this $250 million bond to get him out of, to keep him out of jail. Because the judge required that Mr. Bankman-Fried's parents and one non-family member co-sign that $250 million bond. So it just so happened that two additional people ended up doing it. Now, in a letter Tuesday, lawyers for Mr. Bankman-Fried asked Judge Kaplan to order that the names of the sureties, or the people who signed the lesser bonds, not be disclosed to the public. The lawyers said that Mr. Bankman-Fried's parents had been subjected to intense media scrutiny and threats. Now, that's unfortunate that they were subject of threats, but this is kind of what happens when you bilk people out of billions of dollars. Should these people remain anonymous? Isn't it funny how we can't, well, at least the defense doesn't want us to know who is helping Sam Bankman-Fried. And this is another indicator of why the chances of him ultimately pleading guilty could be slim to none, because he's obviously got some pretty hefty financial backers out there that are going to be in his corner and are going to back him up financially throughout this thing. So you can bet your bottom dollar they're also, maybe not these two, but he's got people that are also contributing to his legal defense fees, because his mother and father certainly can't do it. This thing will break them by February. There is a serious cause for concern that the two additional sureties would face similar intrusions on their privacy, as well as threats and harassments, if their names appear unredacted on their bonds or their identities are otherwise publicly disclosed. That's what the letter to the judge says from the defense. So they're trying hard to keep these names under wraps. Judge Kaplan granted the request, though said he would allow members of the media or others to contest the sealing of the information. Now, let's see if the media does contest it, because, I mean, look, there are more billionaires in the world than ever, but how many of them are going to want to, millionaires and billionaires, are going to want to associate themselves with Sam Bankman-Fried in any way? And look, these attorneys, when they go out there, the media rather, when the media goes out there and starts filing Freedom of Information Acts and that sort of thing, the chances are that they could get a hold of the names of these people by those legal means or by some other means. Okay, somebody knows who these people are. Ms. Sassoon, the prosecutor, asked the judge to impose an additional bond condition barring Mr. Bankman-Fried from transferring or accessing FTX and Alameda assets. A little late in the game for that. Unless they're going to say that this is retroactive to, when this thing first broke out. Mr. Cohen said his client hadn't accessed those funds, echoing a point Mr. Bankman-Fried had made in a tweet last week. In terms of defendant's tweet that it was not him, we don't put full stock in that, Ms. Sassoon said. So the prosecution is saying we have reason to believe that even though this guy's out there saying that he didn't access any of those funds, we don't believe that. But in any event, the prosecutor's request for that additional bond condition was granted. So this thing is moving along. Sam Bankman-Fried's going to fight. I'm telling you guys, that experience in that Bahamian prison, he walked away with that with some deep emotional scars, man. And he is determined, hey, if I'm going back to prison, it's going to be after a fight. So that's where we are right now. this thing is going to drag on, unfortunately. And look, as far as Gary Wang and Caroline Ellison, I think Wang is less impeachable than Ellison. But if they're going to put this young lady on the stand, I think she's going to be eviscerated once they get up there and ask her, hey, so did you have a personal relationship with my client, Sam Bankman-Fried? Well, yes, I did. Oh, okay. And are you under some sort of agreement with the prosecution to save your own skin or get lesser time in exchange for your presence here today? Well, yes, I am. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, take that for what it's worth. As far as Wang is concerned, I don't know what Sam Bankman-Fried's computer literacy skills are like, but he might make the case that, hey, I didn't know what the hell Wang was doing. Who knows what Wang was doing? I don't know the ins and outs. I was just meeting with Congress and trying to get money for the company and expand our presence and, reputation and whatnot. And Wang was doing all that stuff on his own. And, unless there are any text or, explicit, implicit emails or recordings of phone calls instructing Wang to do what he did, that might be a problem for the prosecution. Mr. Wang, did you receive any specific written instructions from Mr. Bankman-Fried that ordered you to do whatever the hell it is you did? No. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting for sure, guys. Look, we've done a lot of work on chronicling this whole thing with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Got to be careful with your money, guys, because this crypto thing, turns out that a lot of people lost a lot. Now, Kevin O'Leary, he's trying to position himself as a white knight, Mr. Wonderful, or is he just wicked? He's trying to fix his reputation with regard to that, but is it working? Check this video out and see if Mr. Wonderful can come back from this FTX debacle and his involvement in it. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.